All right, hey ladies or guys, did you know you can check out a dress at your high school library for free? All right, you might want to know this because you might need a dress one day. I'm credible to speak about this because I'm a big part in the dress closet because I volunteer there a lot. And by submitting this assignment, I acknowledge that this is my own work. So today I will tell you about the story of my service. The story of my service, a communication principle, and two communication concepts that connect to my service experience and how I can use my service to improve my communication and community. So first, I will tell you about the story of my service. Okay. Yeah. I completed my service at Bologna High School over there, and you might want to listen to this because you know where I did my service. So, the mission of my organization, according to the high school librarian, is to get dresses and possibly shoes for women of any age, to get suits and possibly shoes for men of any age, and all of this regardless of financial need or location. The people in my group consisted of many people, including several of my friends slash acquaintances, my sister, and two of her friends. And the tasks that I was supposed to do were take various objects to and from the cafeteria to set up and take down the dress sale. The objects were things such as racks, tables, chairs, dividers, and
Miss Wimberly,
Yes.
Ethan Pierce needs to go to the high school office just a little bit before the bell rings.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Alright, so I helped the organization because I helped set up the sale so the organization could save money to buy dresses so they can help more girls. I helped take down the sales so the process was going faster and thus saving time, and time is money. And the third thing is when I did both of these, the organization didn't have to pay someone to do it, so they got free labor. Yeah. So now that I told you about the story of my service, I will tell you about a communication principle and two communication concepts connected to my service. Yeah. All right. So you might want to listen to this so you know how I did my how my service is connected to communication concepts that we learned in this class. A relevant communication principle is communication is inevitable. The definition, according to the Department of Applied Communication 2017 Instruction to Communication Survival Guide, is the you cannot not communicate idea. All behavior is symbolic, has symbolic potential, and can be interpreted by others, whether we want them to interpret our communication or not. An example from my service that illustrates this principle is when I had to speak to other people to get a job done, the job being to move stuff back and forth from the cafeteria. My example illustrates this principle because when I was working with other people, I had to communicate or nothing would go right. So basically, when working with others, communication is a must. The first communication concept is task-oriented listening. The definition according to Understanding Human Communication, written by Adler, Rodman, and Dupree, is a listening style that is primarily concerned with accomplishing the task at hand. An example from my service experience that relates to this was most of what I did, so like all of it. I had to listen to others to do tasks correctly, and an example of this is once when I was told to move several couches out of the way, and I had to do them in a certain way or else they wouldn't fit in the desired location. My example illustrates this concept because I was listening to how to do the task correctly. The second communication concept is advantages of group problem solving. According to Understanding Human Communication, written by Adler, Rodman, and Dupree, there's not a clear definition, but the description of it is years of research show that in most cases groups can produce more solutions to a problem than individuals working alone, and these solutions are higher quality. Groups have proved superior at everything from assembling jigsaw puzzles to solving complex reasoning problems. There are several reasons why groups are effective. The reasons the book states are resources, accuracy, commitment, and diversity. An example from my service that illustrates the overall concept is basically what I did the whole time because I was working with others in a group. An example for resources is that people had different roles. My role differed from others because our skill sets were different. I moved by the objects while others told me where to put them. An example of accuracy is when my friend caught one of the errors. I was moving several tables to the location I was told to move them to, but he caught an error that they weren't supposed to go there. So he caught an error that probably would not have been caught if he weren't there. An example of commitment is when people stayed to help more than they needed to for their service hours. The book says that even if they didn't intend to, since they contributed to the decision of placement of objects or equipment, they stayed around to make sure that they went there. Finally, an example of diversity is that there were multiple genders working there. With different genders comes different ideas, and the more ideas make for better outcomes. So for our situation, the genders contributed better ideas, and with ideas comes different creativity, so that was good. Alright, so now that I've told you about a communication principle and 2 communication concepts connected to my service experience, I will now tell you about how, based on my service experience, I can use communication concepts and ethical implications to improve my communication and help improve my community. You might want to listen to this because what I need to improve on may be something that you need to improve on as well. One communication concept I could use to improve my communication is paraphrasing. The definition, according to Understanding Human Communication, written by Adler, Rahman, and Dupree, is feedback in which the receiver rewords the speaker's thoughts and feelings. I chose this concept based on my service experience because when working with a lot of people, you may not fully grasp what they're saying and have to reword what they're saying to confirm their message. I can use this concept to improve my communication by utilizing it more often. I usually don't want to have more interaction than necessary with people, so when I don't understand something, I will usually just leave it at that and not confirm what I think they're saying. And so to utilize it more, I can just paraphrase what they're saying and confirm my message. An ethical implication I can use to improve my community would be respect. The definition, according to the Department of Applied Communication Survival Guide, is actively listening to and showing regard for the ideas and the ideas of others before evaluating and responding to their message. I chose this implication based on my service experience because I had to show respect when others gave their ideas or opinions and not to judge before actively listening and showing regard for others' ideas or opinions. I can use this implication to improve my community by showing respect for others. An example of this is if in class, is if in class a peer has an opinion that I don't agree with, I can show respect before judging it. And so now that I've told you about that, so I'll get to the end of the speech. Today I told you about the story of my service, the communication principle, and 2 communication concepts connected to my service experience and how I can use my service to improve my communication and community. So now you know where to get a dress.